Hey guys, it's Derek and welcome to the very first episode of TikTok Made Me Buy It. So I've been flipping through TikTok as usual, and I'm always a sucker for gadgets and stuff like that. And today I came across this cool little printer which allows you to print little stickers. It's black and white, it doesn't really require any ink, and you just print out these things that you can stick to your notes, you can stick to jars and label stuff. So I thought, why not? And before we knew it, this came in the mail. This is a mini printer, which is a USB. There's a battery inside. It's called the Phomemo M02S. The difference between this and some of the other models is this one is actually 300 dpi. So all the other ones are usually about 200 dpi. And when I had a look at it, the pictures, or the stuff that printed out was very pixelated. And apparently this is better because it's got better resolution. This retails for about $85 something, but I got a discount, so it came in at $72. And this is what you get. So it kind of looks like a letter, which is pretty cool. It looks like a letter. And if you open this, there's a little baby printer. Inside comes with a quick start guide and a USB to micro USB cable. So we still have micro USB these days. So in this one, let's see, it comes with one roll of paper. A lot of the other ones are cheaper. 200 dpi printers come with like 6 rolls of paper. And you've got to remember too, with the paper that's included, it's usually not the sticky label ones. It's usually just printer paper, which is not the reason why I wanted to get this thing. So here it is. I don't even know how to, and it just pops out like that. And this is a sample. You get that for free. Is it label printing paper or is it just normal paper? So this appears to be sticky tape paper. So that's cool. So it actually comes with one roll, the instruction manual, which I'll quickly have a look through because I don't know how to use this thing. You've got to download an app called Phomemo. You plug it into charge, you connect it to Bluetooth. If you check that out, it goes this way. It goes into the printer. There's 2 slots on the edge that this thing slides down into. I had it oriented the wrong way, but you pop it in like so and it just fits in like that. And I guess some of it just comes out like that. So the next step is, hopefully this has got some juice in it. If it doesn't, I'll have to charge it. I have to go download the Phomemo app. And I'm going to go to the App Store. I need to connect to the app. So for your first use, please charge your printer fully. Press and hold the power button to start the printer. Oh, they're the on buttons there. So 1, 2, 3. So there's a light on there. Turn on the Bluetooth on your phone, connect after searching. So I've got the Phomemo app. I'm going to accept the privacy. It would like to use Bluetooth and I want to connect to a device. I'm going to connect now. So it's now connected. Press the power button twice to print out a QR code. 1, 2. And something's printing out. There's a QR code. So I'm going to gently tear that off. I've read online that it's very hard because these teeth aren't very sharp and it's hard to get this torn properly, and I can see what they mean. And I've gone to the QR code, it's scanning. Oh cool, it's completely in Chinese. There's no English option. I'm going to click more because that's the only word that's in English. And it says translation available. And this whole page goes to English. With accurate insight into customer needs, more standard, more ink-free printer, about us, hotspot information. I don't think any of that is useful actually. So I'm just going to go to the app. Battery low, the printer will turn off in 2 seconds. So I'm going to need to charge this thing up. Give me 2 seconds. I've plugged it into a power bank and I'm going to just create something to print. This is how it goes. So label workshop, so we'll go to labels. So we want to go for a food date mark. So I'm going to use that. It's recommending a smaller label. I've changed spots because the other room's been used for something else. This printer is now fully charged. I've got the app downloaded. This printer takes 3 different sizes of printing paper apparently. It's the standard 55 and I think there's 2 smaller sizes and maybe they're more appropriate for the little labels with the jam jars. But I'm going to see whether I can use this paper. It says recommended with 15 millimeters for the labels. But I'm going to change the text on here. So I'm making this one that says Mulberry Jam 2024. I don't really know what's happening here, but it's just a matter of how it prints out. So I've got the text, the border, you can use stickers and images and stuff like that. I'm going to turn the printer back on and I'm going to try and print and let's see what happens. It's not the right size paper, mind you, so I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to set it for 25 millimeters. It's 1525 and I think this one's 55. I'm just going to print 1 copy. So it's kind of a waste. It printed out on the full length of the paper and I'm going to tear this off. So it comes like fat. So you've wasted the bottom half of it. What I could do is try and get maybe 2 on the same thing and just cut it. But the other thing I just wanted to show you quickly is what happens if I try and print a picture and what sort of resolution you're going to get from like an image that is on my phone. So I'm going to allow access to my photos on my camera roll, and I'm just going to go pick a picture and try and print it out. Apparently the best thing to do is to try and convert it to black and white, and then I'm going to click print. And it says not printing clearly. You can adjust the settings, light, medium, heavy, or dedicated. It's going to start with heavy, and I'm just going to print and see what happens. So it's coming out. That's interesting. So there's the photo, and that's the photo that we started off with. Kind of cute. Anyway, so I'm going to experiment with this a little bit. I wanted to go straight on and print some stuff using the app and show you the quality of this printer, but I felt like after playing with it for a few minutes, I thought it would be an unfair way to represent the quality of the print of this printer. First, you got to remember that this printer is a thermal printer. There is no ink that you have to put in. The mechanism is that you've got to get special thermal paper, and somehow the printer just prints onto that. The only consumable for this printer is the paper. Unlike a standard printer where you have to have 2 consumables, which is the paper and also the ink. I just wanted to show you one of the more practical uses for this printer, and that is to print labels, some of the delicious jam that my wife has made. I experimented with a few things. One thing that I have concluded in my 15 or so minutes of experimentation is that the app isn't great, it's okay, but to get good results from this printer, you're going to have to do a little bit of work outside of the app and then put it into the app. And this is how I think I'm going to move forward. Basically, my wife made some mulberry and blueberry jam, and we needed labels to put on the jars so we know what type of jam it is, number 1, and 2, when it was going to expire, because you don't want to not know when you actually made the jam. There is a template for labels. The problem is the template for the labels requires the use of a smaller or a narrower roll of paper. So this that comes with it, and the stuff I ordered is the 53mm, comes with I think 12 and 25, and you actually need one of those, because this is what happened when I tried to print using the label template, and this is what I got. So as you can see, it's far from ideal. I could have stretched that over a bit. You've wasted half the sticker, and there's no way in-app for me to either put it sideways, so turn it like that, and there's no way for me to add another label onto here. The next thing I tried to do is I tried to use one of the preset templates, which wasn't exactly a jam label thing, but kind of looked cool. This is what it came out as. I got the mulberry jam, but there's no facility in the app to flip it sideways and do the label that way. With vertical, that you can imagine is going to be really difficult to place on a jam jar, because the jam jar may not be that tall, so that's too wasted. The third one is when I started trying to be a little bit clever, I decided that instead of using the app, I decided to create what I wanted to do outside of the app, export it as a JPEG and use it as a print, as an image. I have Canva, and this is what I did. So I just searched up labels, and I came up with a 4. Do you know how I mentioned in the first part of the video I wanted 2 on these? So I tried to use 4. Here it is. Too small. There is unfortunately some wasted space on the top, and I don't know that we can help that, so that was a dud. Next, I created a template with 2. So that's the one I created with 2. I changed the font, which makes it hard to read, but now what I can do is I can actually fit 2 in. And again, you can see on the sides there's a lot of wasted space. And finally, I worked out how to do it to the way that I wanted. I changed the font to something a little bit more readable. Here it is. I spread the writing all the way to the edge, so you don't have all this wasted room. And I got an easier font because this one, my wife said, was hopeless. So this is it. So I printed 4 of these, which has 8 labels, because I'm going to cut them in half just with a pair of scissors. And I've kind of just, comparing these two, I kind of just spaced out the 2 labels a bit, so there's a bit of more of a gap between the 2. Now we're good to go. With this printer, I'm actually surprised at the quality of just basic printing like this. You're not going to expect miracles out of a $70 printer with 300 DPI and this size. Having said that, Instax printers, HP, those little, can't remember what they're called. What are they called? I don't know. The little mini photo printers, they don't print as high quality as you would with a conventional printer anyway. It is the convenience and novelty, and looks cute. This is going to work for me, I think. I think this printer is a winner. I haven't printed out any basic simple drawings. I'm sure they're going to work super well, and if you get a black and white drawing, you can actually turn it into one of those coloring books. You can just color. So I think that this printer, I'm going to play with it a little bit more. It's something that I wanted to try. I'm not completely disappointed with it. Thank you for watching. I'm glad that I moved out here because it's very pleasant out here. on a Sunday evening. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. There are cheaper versions on Amazon which are only 200 dpi. I do not recommend you get those because I think the resolution is going to be so much worse and you're not going to like it. That's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.